Parent and Family Relations. Um, so we're going to talk about today about the TRiO Student Support Services. It's an informational for you. And it's a brand new program, but Rohish is going to talk a little bit more about it. And it has a lot of great support for your student. So with that said, if you could go to the next slide. I just have a little bit of ground rules for you. Everyone is on mute so that we could get through the information, and then everyone will be free to just come off mute and ask any questions they may have. The recording is in progress so that you could go back to the session and revisit anything that you kind of like missed or needed more information on. The closed captioning is available. All you need to do is just hit the more or other button on the bottom of your screen, or if you're able to see it on the bottom, you'll be able to click on that and the closed captions will come on. The questions you could put either in the Q&A box or you could put them in the chat. It's okay. And then towards the end, provide us your feedback. There's going to be a QR code. And then tomorrow, when I send a recap of the session, or maybe later on tonight, when I send a recap of the session, you'll be able to provide us your feedback. I'm going to put a link on there. And that is what's going to help me know, what's working, what's not working, and what kind of information you want to receive in the future. So with that said, we're going to have our panelists introduce themselves. So Rohisha, take it away.
So, good evening, everyone. My name is Rohisha Hicks. I'm the inaugural director for the TRiO Student Support Services here at William Patterson. So, I oversee both of our programs. We have a general one, which is for any students in any major, and then we have one simply focused on our STEM major students, in addition to any students that are majoring in the health science area or nursing. Also, we do have two assistant directors. I'm not sure if they already have joined in, but we have Miss Alexis Matheson, who is assistant director over our general program, and then we have Mr. Joshua Hicks Lawrence, who works with our students in the STEM majors.
Sorry, Rohisha, it's not advancing the,
Oh, the slides?
yeah,
Okay,
there you go.
okay. Oh. So this is us, our pictures, our faces, who we are. Again, I'm Director Hicks, and then we have Mr. Lawrence and Ms. Matheson, who are the assistant directors, who will actually be the staff that will be working with your student. So just a little bit about um, TRiO. TRiO Student Support Services is a free federally funded program, so we do not charge any of our students or families to be a part of the program. It is servicing students who are, first gen, low income, and or has a disability. And the goal is that we just provide additional guidance and assistance to help them continue the time that they're here at William Patterson to ultimately to get them to graduation and determine if they would like to either go into grad school or go straight into the workforce. And some of the reasons to, want to join TRiO, in addition to it's free, right? No charge to our families. But we support our students in making sure that they have some academic guidance. We also have tutoring and skill building, making sure that we're also providing them with leadership development, but also college and career development to make sure that once they leave here, they are set and ready to go into the world and be able to put their degree to use. So the criteria, I just want to spend some time on discussing what the criteria is that the students must be a first generation college student. That means that neither parent and or guardian has a 4-year degree currently in the US. So if if the parent and or guardian received a 4-year degree in another country, they are still considered a first gen student here in the US, one. And two, if for whatever reason the parent and guardian are currently getting their degree, but they have not received it as of yet, the student will still be considered a first generation student. We also expect our students to be considered from a low income household, and that's something defined by the federal guidelines when they're doing their FAFSA. So we do not dictate what is considered low income or not. And then our student has to have some type of documented disability. It can be physical, it can be a learning disability. you have to be either one of them. You could be both of them. You could be all three of them. But if you meet any of the criterias, then that makes you qualified to be a part of the TRiO program. And it is only for students that are currently enrolled or accepted for enrollment at William Patterson University in order for us to be able to serve that particular student. I know that sometimes, students may have, take a semester off and things like that. They will not be able to receive services until they're actively enrolled in classes in order to receive our services. Oh, yeah. So just a little bit about some of the things that we've been doing before we get into what next steps and what that looks like is that we provide our students with different workshops as well as one-on-one guidance and advising with our staff. So sometimes our students are a part of the Equal Opportunity Fund, or they may be a part of other programs here on the campus. We do not replace any of those services. This is just an additional support to them to be able to help provide them for it. Our students that are enrolled with us also get priority registration when it's time to register for classes. We assist them with making sure that they develop a success plan to ensure that they're tapping into all the resources. We do not physically give any of our students any financial assistance or benefits. We advocate for them to tap into the resources that are already provided to our students. So currently we do have a computer lab because not all of our students have access to computers and or laptops. So we have a computer lab in our office space that they're able to utilize to get their papers done or any things that they need in order to make sure that they're successful in their things. We also are developing a book library for our students. We know one of the biggest things that our students have expressed to us is the cost of books. So we do have a library where they're able to, lend out or rent out books for their particular courses to make sure that they're able to be provided and prepared for their classes. We also do cultural and enrichment trips to be able to take our students just to expose them to different things, whether it's, them being a part of when we go to Capitol Hill when we're advocating about the importance of education, whether it's taking them to a Broadway play because they've never been, but we also just make sure that it ties into the academic enrichment. And when we say academic enrichment, it goes beyond just, the basic knowledge that they learn in the classroom, but showing the connection between what you're learning and how it applies to the real world, as we would say. So an example that we kind of use to make sure that our families understand is that, if we have a STEM student who, is like, I like math, but I struggle a little bit, but I'm not understanding, like, am I really going to need this information once I leave William Patterson? So we're able to connect them to different companies and mentors so that they can actually see what you're learning is actually going to apply to the real life. Also helping them with their resume building, helping them with interviews. How do you dress for interview? How do you, conduct yourself or be able to have your pitch? So those are the things that we provide to our students while they're here. And then we still report on our students once they graduate to see, did they continue and go into grad school? Are they in the workforce? Are they actually, in their field? How did that go? So just because they leave William Patterson does not mean that we still do not report on them or to make sure that we're just getting updates on where they're at in the process. So what our students are doing that if they are interested in it, and you can scan the QR code to complete the information, you will need your Pioneer ID number, which is your 855 number. And then one of our staff will reach out to just go over more information, answer any questions, and then start the intake process. So I'm not sure if anyone has any questions.
I have questions.
Oh,
I always have questions.
should I stop sharing the screen or
Well, if you could go to the next,
oh, okay, for the
yeah,
feedback. Okay.
yeah. So this is like the end of the formal presentation, right? So if you want to provide us the feedback, you could do so, but we're gonna get into a Q&A because this presentation is more of like a Q&A discussion so that you're able to have the information that you need so that you could have the conversation with your student. So you could go ahead, Rohisha, and you could just remove the PowerPoint that way where everyone is like in the same room.
Okay,
But
perfect.
but I do have a question. So
Mhm.
if my student,
Hmm.
right? So my student is registered through the Accessibility Resource Center. Um, right? So then you're saying that although they're registered through through ARC, that doesn't replace those services. These are
Correct.
additional services that you provide these students so that it could enhance their experience.
Exactly. So we're just in addition to ensure that they're just getting extra support in areas that they may feel like they're not fully getting. So sometimes, depending on what someone's caseload, there are times where it's like, you may have to meet with your ARC representative on a weekly basis. However, there may be times where, there's some additional assistance that you need or some additional resources. That's when we come in. We kind of fill the gaps. That's basically what we're doing. We're not here to replace, we're just here to give you every tool that you're going to need in your tool belt to make sure that you're successful while you're here.
So then I know that but maybe families don't know, is that there's two cohorts, right? There's a STEM cohort and then there's a regular cohort. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So, what it is that William Patterson actually received two grants, and they're just focused based upon what your student is majoring in. So, the great part about how TRiO defines your STEM majors is that any students that, the basics of science, your technology, your engineering, math, but it also includes your health sciences, and nursing. So, if you're majoring in nursing, if you're majoring in like business analytics and things like that, you would then be assigned to our STEM grant and program. And what that just means is that it just looks different. You're getting the same services. However, it's more focused to what you're going to school for. So the best way I can explain it is that if you were a psychology major, I'm not going to put you in the STEM program where, you're probably getting in addition to like one-on-one tutoring, you may be in group tutoring or group mentoring. It may be that, now we want to connect you to an internship or apprenticeship, and connecting you to, hands-on experience in that particular field. There's just funding that's allotted to students that fall under the STEM major. So that's the difference. You're still getting all of the services of academic enrichment, a staff assigned to you, being able to participate in, the trips, and incentives that we offer. You still will qualify for it. You'll just be labeled in one particular program because of what you're majoring in.
So, so we have an array of like different families joining us this evening, from new incoming families for fall to current families all the way through junior year. So most likely our new incoming families don't know that we have a student success team, right? Which is basically a group of people that kind of like guide your student from the point of enrollment all the way through graduation, and they're there to support the student. Our like older families, they are kind of accustomed to that. So how does TRiO differ from the student success team?
So in addition, so we deal with the student as a whole, and our goal is to find out like what are some of the challenges in areas that you feel that you need some extra assistance. So depending on what your challenge may be, it may be a situation where financially there are some things that causes challenges for you to be successful in your semester. It is our goal to assist you with advocating and tapping into the resources here at the university, to be able to receive it. Sometimes it's the fact of, you just need extra support in how you're going to like get through your classes. It's just the fact of it's like a combination of what everybody's doing. It just now we're here as now someone to help advocate for you, to help get you to figure out, okay, what are you planning to do? What does it look like for you? Having those real conversations and being able to come up with a clear plan about how do you execute it. Do you know about all the resources on here? Do you know that these are, how do we sustain you that when you're not here, that you're still able to tap into resources, whether when you go back home into your community, what are some of those resources? And really being able to connect you if you decide to continue your education to get you through grad school as well.
All right. So then my student, right, is a he meets two of the three criterias that you presented. So besides that, is there anything else that would would impede him from being accepted into your program? Or can we talk about what that process looks like, the intake, and the application, if you may
Right.
say?
So once a student completes, so when you've completed the interest survey, you meet with one of the staff and we kind of just do like an intake to kind of get an idea of like, do you meet any of the criterias? If you meet one of them, if you meet two of them or all three, right, then that lets us know that you are eligible to be a part of the TRiO program. Once we do that, now is identifying what service do you actually need in order to help you while you're here at William Patterson. So it may be a situation where, I'm a junior and I'm starting to think about internships. I did reach out to career development, but I just need extra assistance. I need that one-on-one where it's like I need that role playing of like practice interviews, mock interviews, being able to say like, okay, I don't have someone that can help me or guide me through that. I don't have a social network to be able to say, okay, let me connect you to this company to be able to have a job. So those are the things that we discuss inside of your one-on-ones, but we also have workshops that we do throughout the semester. So some of our areas about like financial literacy, right? Now that you're here, yes, you receive some financial aid or you receive some scholarships, but are we really planning out, okay, you got through the one semester, but did you think about your spring semester? Did you think about how you're going to cover your finances for the next several years that you're here at the university? It's also identifying and being an extra support with your advising. Are you taking the right classes for you that's in your major? Oh, I'm struggling. I want to be a math teacher, but every math class that I've taken, I have not passed. Okay, so we need to start really identifying what is your learning style, right? Now we're pulling back the layers to figure out what is the root that's causing these stumbling blocks for you or these challenges.
So it sounds like that this is a very small, close-knit community, right? So I think that's one of the beauties of like TRiO, that students are able to really build that kind of relationship with you and your staff, so that they're really able to get that needed support, right? So I as a mom had a lot of questions, but I'm pretty sure there are other family members that may have some questions. So I'm going to open up the floor to everyone else. So feel free to come off mute, turn on your camera, and just ask whatever question you may have. Um, yeah. All right. Doesn't seem like
So while someone you all
oh,
thinking
there
about your
is.
oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hi, how are you? I do have a question. My daughter is a freshman and she she does have the she had an IEP, so she has the services in place. Are you guys able to provide some sort of support? She's struggling a lot to like fit in like groups and things like that for her to get more involved in school and college.
Mhm.
And she does. It's very bright. She struggled at the beginning last semester because of the social and things like that. She's going part-time this time around, but she's intend to do full-time again and the fall. Are you guys able to direct her or help her to kind of like get together with people that struggle just like her?
Yeah, so the great thing about TRiO, one thing about TRiO is not just only at William Patterson. It's across the country,
Mhm.
that they have multiple TRiO programs, and it actually starts from sixth grade all the way up into postgraduate in regards to like if you're going for your doctorate. So we have our own TRiO community where collectively we get together and do different opportunities, whether it's at conference or summits and things like that, where our other TRiO students get to connect with and kind of be able to work with and help them in system. But it's also for us to be able to catch those students who, it's kind of like I'm a little shy and I don't really know how to navigate that. That's why we really want to do the extra workshops throughout the time to be able to invite students to be able to like connect with each other, to kind of help you build those skills and those tools to help you be a little bit more social. And what does that look like? And it's just the fact that we're just there at the campus versus like they would have to go to like, off campus to be able to have this experience. So those are some of the things that we really strive to do, that make sure that they increase their social skills, and did also soft skills as well. We know that a lot of our students experience like they were kind of going through high school during COVID. So a lot of them don't have, as far as like how do I communicate with others, that's not just sending a text message. So we actually teach those skills and actually put practical theory with it. So that actually like we're not just talking to you about it. We're actually working on it. We're providing that. We're going back and checking out. You said you wanted to increase your involvement. Okay, what sports are out there? Okay, let's go. We're gonna go check out, when they have a fair, the job fairs or the clubs and fairs and things like that. Let's see where do you fit in and things like that. It's more of, I don't want to say hand holding, but it's the fact of like it's like a concierge, right? You have someone that's going to assist you and guide you about, okay, that's not a cookie cutter process, right? Because each of our plans is designed for that particular individual student.
Perfect. Thank you. So I already have her. I love everything you say, and I can't wait for her to join. I already have her filled out the form, and I guess you guys will reach out to start the process, the intake. You say, right?
Yes. So once, because I see that some of them are coming in, because I see the forms notifications. One of the assistant directors will reach out and schedule out their time. They'll say like their booking, and they could come in person. It could be virtual via Teams or Zoom, or it could be on the phone, and then they will start it. We also, because we do have like a suite space, we're creating it for, and we're actually waiting for our furniture to come to create an academic lounge space for our students. So that way, if they just want to come and hang out and just get together, we have snacks. So we always know, snacks and water and things like that is always a good thing for our students. But that's also a space that they could come into where it's just like, I just need to get away, or I just don't want to be around everybody, but I want to be around my TRiO community.
Oh, I love that. I love that what you provide, because she have instances that she needs to get away and she has to find that safe place in the campus, and she had left the campus, drive away because she hasn't find that support that she can go and say, listen, I need to cool down and like get myself together, my thoughts together.
Right.
So, and also the two other criterias I think I fit, just like Mrs. Reyes, and the paperwork that you need for the disability. Is that something that I have to? It's already on file with the
With
with
ARC, like if
So
it's in file with
So
ARC,
if
I
yeah,
think
we
it
don't
should be
so
fine.
we don't ask for any additional documentation once the student, and that's why we need their Pioneer ID number. Once we do that, we just verify with them. If they say yes, then they just tell us yes or no. And
okay,
once they confirm it, then we're good to go. We just have to have documentation on our end stating that we reached out to ARC. They stated that they do have a documented disability. Then that's all the information that we need for
perfect.
TRiO.
Thank you, ladies.
You're,
Appreciate it.
You're
you're
welcome.
welcome.
So in the chat, I put the link to the intake form. Um, so please encourage your student to apply. This is a great program. Not everyone is eligible for it. So I think that's one of the beauties of it, right? Because not everyone is eligible, Rohisha and her team can really focus on honing in like those skills for students, and get that community so that they're able to excel at the university, right? And thrive. So, again, definitely encourage your student. I will send the recording. That way you could go back to it and revisit any of the questions that we asked. But we still have time. So if any of you has a question, please feel free to ask. But I know, Rohisha, you were going to say something before.
Oh, I was gonna say just to tell a little bit more about TRiO. Like I know a lot of people may not know about TRiO, and like I explained that it is, nationwide. So there are other opportunities because of the different associations that we're a part of, and they are committed to servicing students that are, low income, first gen, and or with a disability. There are opportunities like there's currently they were taking applications for students to be a part of the study abroad. They had opportunities for them to intern at Capitol Hill if they're into like public policy and things like that. Depending on the association, meaning like we're based upon regions. There's times when there's scholarship opportunities that's if you're only a student support service student, you can only apply for it. So we as a program at William Patterson cannot physically give you anything, but we have other resources to be able to give you these opportunities and experiences to be able to make sure that you have an amazing experience while you're at college. In addition to, yes, we do service the students, but we do have opportunities where we try to bring the family because we know that, yeah, we could be pouring into your child, but we also know that they go home and, and it's a family effort, right? It takes a village. So there are opportunities when we do, events and activities where we invite the family and parents and guardians to come a part of it because they are an extension of you. And we know that if we have you, on board with us, then we can make sure that we're making sure that your student is able to be successful while they're here.
Yeah. So then something I wanted to say to Margarita was that what your daughter is experiencing, it's normal, basically. A lot of first year students do go through that transition period where they just can't find their footing. But once they do, these students just flourish, right? Like these students, they just um run with it. So I think being part of TRiO will be really good if she meets all the eligibility requirements and it's a good fit for her. I think it will be good for her so that she could really just kind of like again hone in onto what it is um what it is that her role as a student is at William Patterson. So don't, like it's pretty normal. A lot of students go through it and it's just part of the transition.
I appreciate it. I mean, it's a challenge, well, for us as a family because she was so active in high school. She was a cheerleader. She was an RLTC. She was soccer, dancer, and then everything stopped. And now she's not doing anything. She's having a really hard time. Matter of fact, she wanted to not go back to college, and she has even a scholarship with for her art. And I just like push her to go and stay at least for part time. So it's once she gets, I can't wait to her for her to find, fit in, so she's able to continue because she's very, she's very smart.
Right.
She just need that extra support.
Right. So definitely have her fill it out because as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking about different like workshops and activities, like doing a dance class, and maybe she might lead it. Like, so the great part about TRiO is
Mm-hmm.
that we're able to create what it looks like for our students. There's
That's
no
correct.
like cookie cutter of like, no, you have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say this about me and my team. Like, we're really about like, this is you all program. Yes, we're
Mm-hmm.
running it, but you tell us what you want to see. If you say that this is what you're interested in, and you all are going to show up, then we don't mind using our grant funds to be able to fund these opportunities for
That's
you.
great. That's great. Thank you. She filled it out already. She
Okay. So
uh
she'll be hearing something from us. I would say Friday the latest, because I'm sure
mhm.
knowing my team, they're probably already starting to get their stuff together to have it out tomorrow. But you'll definitely hear something from us before Friday.
Thank you so much,
You're
guys.
welcome.
So I think that's it. Any parting words, Alicia?
Sign up, sign up, sign up. If you are a student who will your first time, like your incoming freshman, we also have a summer component. But we're like you'll get more information as this continues to develop. Because we'll be at like those pre-orientations and things like that. But we do have opportunities to kind of just give you some assistance prior to you stepping on the campus in late August. So we doing some great things here. I think you all will have an amazing time with us. We have an amazing team. We're dope. So I know that we are going to be a good fit for you all. So definitely, just scan, fill out the intake form, and you'll be hearing from us.
Yes, and tell your students to tell their friends too.
Yeah, and tell a friend
Yeah.
and tell another friend.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you next time.